So, you may remember that last time in the saga of Digital Homicide versus Jim Sterling, or James Remine versus Jim Sterling, that, well, basically it looked like it was coming to an end. But the judge did say that James Remine could file another complaint if it was heard, if the case was going to be heard through an attorney. Key point, through an attorney. As of yet, still, James Remine still does not have an attorney representing him in this case. However, in both what is good news for me and probably good news for everyone else, you'll be pleased to know that James Remine has filed a brand new legal document, a tome of 74 pages, and I've gone through and I've got some of the, how should I say, the more interesting claims and facts that have been alleged in this new document. Now, I'll leave a link below to the full thing so you can read it yourself, but these are just some of, how should I say, the humdingers. So, number one. James is now claiming that Jim Sterling is a direct competitor because he was a member of a development team, and because he was, and because it was going to be working on Steam, it was going to be released in Arizona, meaning that he was a direct competitor. That's one new thing that he's now claiming. And then this is quite fun. Basically, the idea that that Romine has been using alternative accounts to put out other games and hide his real name, either having Romine or Digital Homicide attached to your name is guaranteed rejection by the gaming public, has been solidified in legal documents. Romine has planned on using MicroStrategic Designs' name to rebrand in an effort that was ruined because the developer messed up and accidentally placed the game in a Digital Homicide bundle, thus revealing the connection. So the goal at the time was to completely rebrand Digital Homicide because the name itself was irreparably damaged thanks to bad press and extremely low-rated games. Romine believes that it is unfair for Digital Homicide's poor reputation to follow to a new company owned and operated by the same people. This is a fun one. James alleges that it's really easy to get a game on Steam Greenlight, and he alleges to do it through attrition. Nuclear Domination made it through Steam Greenlight with just 500 votes. So, if you're ever wondering why there's a shit ton of shovelware on Steam these days, well, here's your answer. Romine has more alternative accounts under his name, under the names Vesper Strad, The Mac, Simple But Fun Games, MicroStrategic Designs, and there are several, if not 100% owned by Romine himself. And this is quite an interesting one. According to the documents, Valve nearly gave Digital Homicide the boot in 2015. According to what it says here, Valve nearly gave Digital Homicide the boot in October of 2015, stopping only because Romine begged, his words, them not to, promising to remove his future products to avoid having everything shut down. Incidentally, Valve would have ultimately terminated their business with Digital Homicide following aggressive legal action from the latter. And, oh yeah, finally, number 8, someone sent a bag of poop in the mail to Digital Homicide. So, and those are just some of the fun points to point out, but in all this stuff, James has forgotten one thing. He's still got to prove that all this stuff is actual defamation and not the opinion of Jim Sterling. Which it is, and they're very easy to prove. He's also alleging that there was about, I think, 2 million... he's adding something like another 2 million... something stupid, ridiculous. He's trying to add to the amount of a game that he's trying to say Jim Sterling did. It's just like, no, dude, you released bad games and awful games, and as was the case, as right at the beginning, you got called out for it by a big YouTuber. Sad day for you. You should have just gone home and packed up then. But here we are today still, and put it this way, this is going to end because I cannot see the judge continuing this farce much longer. The last time the judge said this needs to be heard through a lawyer. As of yet, still, Digital Homicide still doesn't have a lawyer. Whether the judge will accept any of this, because then when you actually take it to trial, remember, Romine has to prove everything he's said in here is on Jim Sterling and what he is alleging, which he hasn't got a cat in hell's chance trying to allege some of the stuff. But yeah, go read the fun for yourself, because it is just never stopped. And we're probably going to hear maybe next month. I don't know when the next one will be. But yeah, we'll keep you updated. But as usual, Digital Homicide proving that there are worse ways to die on the internet than in real life sometimes.